is June Alma of the June Alma Show, and tonight. Hi, this is June Alma of the June Alma Show. Hi, this is June Alma of the June Alma Show.
This is June Alma
And
of the
welcome
June
to
Alma
the
Show.
relaunch of the new season. June Alma season. Now what?
Hi, good evening. This is June Alma of the June Alma Show, and welcome to another season of the June Alma Talk Show. And this is our first episode for the third season. And tonight we're very lucky to have a very, very special guest who was very gracious enough to allow herself to be the opening guest for our first Salvo of the third season. She's one of the most popular personalities in the palace in the Pasig River, and is actually a sports enthusiast, even a sports leader, and she's also into a lot of activities. The closest to her heart is her project on environmental, which is especially the Pasig River, which up to now we credit her for. But she's very humble in that she doesn't need any references or any additional titles to her name. She does not really ask for credit for all the projects that she was a part and helped her husband with. And up to this day, she's still very, very much active, very strong, very charming, very gracious. And we're wondering, even all through her 88 or 89 years, she's still, working in this beautiful International School of Manila Complex. And so, we would like to welcome the very charming, the heart of a woman, the heart of the former president, one of the country's most popular and strongest president, who led the country into one of the strongest economies the Philippines has ever had. Please welcome former First Lady, Mrs. Amelita, Ming Ramos. Good evening, ma'am. Welcome to the show.
Good evening.
Would you like to give our televiewers some opening remarks for the June Alma Talk Show?
Thank you very much for the very nice introduction. The first time I had an interview, the room was so cold, I was so nervous, I didn't know where to put my hands, on the table or under the table. And so this is very nice of you to invite me to speak to you.
Thank you again, Mrs. Ramos. And I remember we were at your residence the other year, and I brought my classmates from college, for a delegation to visit her daughter, and both the former president and Mrs. Ramos were so graciously took us around their lovely home. And so, Mrs. Ramos, please tell us what keeps you, up and about and so active, even all through your 88 or 89 years. You're still, you're still very healthy, very charming, and still working as a consultant here. So please share with us your secrets for longevity.
Well, I have aches and pains. I have arthritis.
This isn't true.
But I think when you're busy working, you forget about these aches and pains. We are a very sports-minded family. When my husband took up tennis, everybody had to play tennis. And he was president of Philippine Badminton Association, so he was also playing badminton. But I'm sorry to say, in badminton, I'm a better player than he is. And so when he took up water skiing, everybody water ski. It took me 50 falls before I could stand up. But I was able to stand up. And our late daughter Jo was in the water ski Philippine team that won the gold medal in Singapore.
Wow.
And then when pelota became popular, again, all of us had to learn pelota. I think being sports-minded and being active, I think it's why I can still walk without a cane or be in a wheelchair. And during this Christmas vacation, being in the house, I'm not a homebody. So I was waiting to go back to work. Yeah. So I think if you are active and doing something, then it's okay.
So it's really admirable, ma'am, that even at this stage in your life, you're still involved in a lot of projects. And you were mentioning that among them is the environmental projects. You have like restaurant, garden restaurant, something like that. The Ming's Garden.
Yes.
And like I mentioned, you initiated this Pasig River rehabilitation. And would you like to talk about these projects?
Well, when my husband was in the military and police, I used to travel with him around the Philippines. And we have such nice, beautiful places, but they're not developed. Sayang. And so when we had to move to Malacanang, the river had a foul smell and it was so black. So I decided I better do something about it. And that's how I got involved in the cleaning of the Pasig River.
You've done a good job, Mom, because right now we're making it like a tourist thoroughfare already. I mean, with a lot of bankers that ply the river. And in fact, sometime last year we were able to catch some boats, some live fish out in the river.
Yeah.
And so that means that the river is alive already.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that it was possible to revive a practically dead river.
Well, if you keep at it, it can be improved. When we used to travel abroad, I tried to learn from those countries what they did. And in Paris, they have toilets in the sidewalk. So I met with the company that made those toilets, and it was, they said, if you rent, you don't buy it, you rent. And the minimum was 50 toilets. So I thought I will start it in Luneta. So they showed me, you put a coin, the door opens, and you do your business, and you're only given so many minutes. Finish or not, that door will open, because they prevent the poor people from using it as a sleeping place. Yeah. Then when I came home, I thought, but first we have to teach our people how to use the toilet properly. Because in some of the public schools, they don't even have toilets. So I didn't push through that project. But I used to visit their sanitary landfill and how they process the dirt. And so in New York, I visited where the dirty water goes. And the lady who took me said, "You're the first lady who has visited us." I said, well, because it smells. And then, my husband prevented Smoky Mountain garbage from being thrown there. And so, with Vicky Reyes, we went to Thailand to visit the project of the Queen. She invited me to visit her project. She had handicrafts, teaching people. And so we were going to do that in Smoky Mountain. In fact, we taught 10 things. The computer, typing, dressmaking, basta 10 things, planting, and then those that took cooking opened a cafeteria in that place, so they were earning money because instead of selling what they get from the garbage, they were earning something else. But I'm sorry to say now garbage is back in Smoky Mountain. Wala tayong continuity.
So it is part of your advocacy now, ma'am, to to try to restore the continuity that you're talking about. So that this is very timely. I mean, it's environmental issues and recycling of garbage is a major concern.
Well, I do what I can, no. But when you're no longer in position, people won't listen to you. In fact, to raise money now, they will say we have no money to give you. But when I was First Lady, I would get calls. You would say, Mrs. Ramos, we have 1 million for your projects. If they don't say which project, I give it to the one that needs it most. And Panasonic gave me 100 TV sets. What do I do with 100 TV sets? So I gave them to the wards in military hospitals. Then again, people donate cars. What do I do with 6-8 cars? So again, I give it to the foundations that needed it.
What about, ma'am, because of the issue now about all this gun violence in schools, especially in the United States and also in Europe. And I mean, since you are in an international campus, and how are you able to manage the processing of high school students so that they will not be copying the gun violence that they see around?
Our head security is very strict. They don't just let people in. You have to inform ahead of time. People that come to see you, they want the names. They will ask for your ID and give you a pass. And so they're quite strict.
Yeah, in fact, when we entered here, we understood that they were really strict, and I think that's one of the reasons why the Philippines is now following in the footsteps of the other countries now about all these security issues. And knowing that her husband was the former military, was the promise, and Mrs. Ramos yourself, you're also an educator. So how do you put in the necessary discipline so that our citizenry can be responsible, mature, and wise to be able to discern what are the appropriate things to put forward?
I think parents should teach their children more discipline.
But sometimes even parents themselves,
Oh yeah.
So
Well, their parents should teach them. But with the Filipinos, I don't know. If there's somebody watching over that person, they will follow the rules. Like Filipinos that work in Hong Kong, in Singapore, they follow the rules because they know they cannot get away with it. And the Filipino thinking kasi, if I can get away with it, I will do it. And, I drive and I was caught by going through a U-turn. But I looked, there was no policeman, in Makati. But when I turned, there was a policeman, and he stopped me. And he asked for my license. He says what I did was dangerous. And I said, well, I'm sorry, I was trying to make a shortcut. And then he said, oh, you have to go to a safety seminar, 2 of them. I said, I cannot because I'm working, I have no more leave and I need my salary. So he was saying, oh, we play basketball in international school. So he said, sige, I'll just put reckless in your license. I could have told him who I was because my husband was head of the constabulary, But if I told him that, he would have let me go. But we have taught our children, if you do something wrong, you suffer the consequence. At that time, there was martial law. We said, if you are caught past midnight, you better just cut grass there in Fort Bonifacio.
So that is the way the educator sees, how discipline should be on our children. Going back into, I know Mrs. Ramos would not like to talk about politics, but we can't help it because her husband was the former president in the Philippines. But of course, we'll just ask some grand, motherhood statements that will help the citizen of the vote. So we shall be back for after a few minutes for a break. Thank you, and this is Junal to the Junal Show. See you shortly.